What's up, everybody? You're live with the project. Another great report, drop-in report, Monday night, Raw talk. And I was contemplating not even doing this because I was coming in this expecting the draft to just be god-awful. WWE is in a very random, interesting state right now where they're getting a lot of money for doing a whole lot of nothing. They're kind of conning, I'm not going to lie, they're conning these network executives out of $9.8 billion, which is their new deal. And this is in addition to their $267 million deal from um, NBC Universal. And on top of that, $70 million additionally from Fox. This is an absurd amount of money for how bad WWE product is right now. In some type of way, they're getting a lot of merchandise out of these moms who are buying stuff for their kids, where we live in a era where quality and discernment and just overall competition still exists because it's not a lot of base stuff in comparison. What's up, Victor? My big homie. Um, it's not a big base stuff comparison for these people, and that's why they think this product is so good. But big ups to WWE for conning these networks out of all this money because they sure as hell don't deserve the amount of money. $9.8 billion overall really is probably closer to 12, which is what UFC is valued at the moment. And they're finding a way to con these goddamn networks out of all this money. It is crazy. Now, we're going to get to the Britt Baker Black Eye thing. That's mainly why I went live. If it was just about WWE Draft Night 2, which was god-awful. Night 1 was bad, too, but this was god-awful. I would have just tweeted out my opinions on it. But I was like, let me get into this Britt Baker thing because people are really overreacting. And these are the exact type of topics I like to discuss in wrestling. I think my audio is good. These are the type of topics I like to discuss in wrestling. This is where wrestling needs to go. And I'm glad these girls get it. I remember a couple years back, I did a podcast talking about praising how much I like Ruby Soho, Paige, and Toni Storm while they were in WWE. Individually, how I like all of them. I was like, they should have a faction. And at the time, I wasn't really considering Ruby Soho because she was on the shelf with an injury at the time. I believe a shoulder rotator cuff injury. At the time, I didn't put her in the equation, but she had the Riot Squad. And I thought WWE severely underused the Riot Squad. Now, Liv Morgan and Valhalla, who was formerly Sarah Logan, ironically, they're in WWE and Ruby Soho isn't. I thought Ruby Soho would have been a breakout star because she's the most well-rounded. I wasn't surprised when Sarah Logan got released because she's good, but it's a lot of Sarah Logans out there. Liv Morgan obviously proved to be the standout, and she was. You can make an argument that she would have got ahead either way because she's an attractive woman, and attractive women always have a place in television. Even though WWE, for whatever reason, frustratingly and counterproductively, keep trying to not put beautiful women on TV. I will never understand the logic or the analogy behind why WWE does not fully utilize and use beautiful women a hell of a lot more often than they actually do. I think it's about quite peculiar and quite strange. But either way, I was saying that Saraya, aka Paige, Toni Storm, and Ruby Soho, formerly known as Ruby Riot, they have imitatable characters. And that's something that is drastically and grossly missing in wrestling. Everybody think you have to be this, work rate machine. And honestly, I got to give it to the coaches and the wrestling school owners for putting this in people's head, because what a way to make a customer loyal. You got a dumb loyal customer forever. And what they do is, because I've been around these type of people, what these wrestling coaches and school owners would do, they will make you think you're not ready to take the next step just so you can stay at their school and keep paying that money. I've seen it happen. I try to encourage my friends who's still in the business. I have no interest in getting in the ring and wrestling no more. I'm more on the journalism side and more of the reporting side. That's the side I care about, the podcasting. I don't care about the wrestling side because I've already see where this business is going, where marks control it. It did every way. Nobody want to make money anymore. They want to get hurt, do these crazy bumps in front of nobody. I have no interest in doing that. If I'm going to do something at a high professional level, I have to get paid a lot of money for it. And a lot of these marks don't want to get paid. I knew when I was at camp and everybody was like, I'm getting in shape for the tournament. I'm like, you're not working on your character to go to a big company like WWE at some point? Oh, no, I just wanted to go to the tournament. I knew I was done with wrestling at that point. And that was 3 years ago. I knew I was done. I still keep myself in shape. I still at times get the itch while I was like, man, I wish I was in the ring. I still want to work out with certain of my friends. But overall, the wrestling business just completely turned me off. And this draft is indicative and a very large reason why I'm just done with pro wrestling. Because this has to be one of the most god-awful drafts I've ever seen in my life. And I'm going to put the results up on the screen right now. This is an awful, awful draft class I've never seen. Now, I had my reservations. I was already coming into it expecting it not to be great. But boy, was it confirmation here. This has to be one of the most runny diarrhea drafts I've ever seen in my life. Let's go to what's this night? This night one. No, actually, this may night two. I'm sorry. So Triple H comes out and announced that Brock Lesnar is a free agent. I'm surprised he did that. I'm pretty sure that was more of a WWE endeavor move because Triple H is not smart enough to come up with something like that. We know he isn't. I do what I'm told. I take credit. So night one. And the biggest thing that grinds my gears with a lot of this is the fact that they announce people that's already on a show like they just went to that show. How about you say instead of they're getting drafted to the show that they're already on, that they're staying on this show? So that's one of the main things with this that really grinds my gears about this goddamn show. Because people make it seem like that, or WWE, I'm talking about people. WWE executive and management, I'm sorry, I'm trying to multitask and text at the same time. They try to make it seem like it's something original that they're doing. And we talked about the other day where Gabe Stevenson was the only one in last year's class. I think I heard somebody did it this year, but it was some NXT jabroni that I didn't give a shit about, which is why I didn't put too much thinking or behind it. They were saying that somebody got recorded at a gym or something reacting to the fact that they got drafted. And I was like, okay, so y'all don't want to do that with absolutely everybody. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, that should be done with everybody. It should. I missed the draft when they had everybody in their outfits or in their clothes, and they're all in separate locker rooms. Hello, whoever's here. And they reacted. They put the camera back that had multiple cameras set up so they can react naturally like a human being would to being drafted. They only did this for Gabe Stevenson. Hello, Marissa. My geeky girl, my friend. What up, Marissa? So they only did this for certain people. And this is something that really grinds my gears. If you're going to have a draft, first of all, you should have a lot of your developmental talent in the pool eligible to be drafted. You cannot have people that's already on the show talking about they were drafted. What do you think of this, Victor? This has to be the most absurd shit. And it was people that got drafted that I was like, or that didn't get drafted that upset me. And I'll get into those people in just a second. Victor says, I missed that draft lottery. Yeah, it was cool. When they actually used to do the lottery and they put them on the screen, even though we know a lot of that stuff was fixed, we know that. But it was still, it made it participatory. And I also liked how when people were in the process of getting drafted, brands had to wrestle and whoever won the match got the draft pick. It makes it feel like an actual competition. I don't know what this is lazy ass, work rate era drafting. So we got to take what we can get. So round one, Ripley stayed. She switched over as I predicted. Ripley is going to Raw. And I like Ripley. Ripley's a good girl. I like her. She's got switch over to Raw. So this either means her and Bianca's going to fight for the belts or they're just going to hand them over like the Usos and the Street Profits did that year. That is the worst thing possible, but I would not be surprised if WWE did that. Another champion that got switched brands, and it was about time. You got to switch rosters over. Austin Theory went to SmackDown. I think Austin Theory, and I talked about this the other day, he will peak on SmackDown because there's less competition, there's less pressure, and he's kind of got the work rate. But to me, he's meant for Raw because he's more of a sports entertainer. But I honestly think I have a feeling that he's going to peak on Raw. Victor says, I remember Raw versus SmackDown Battle Royales. Yeah, or when they'll brawl at the end of the show. The Battle Royales to me was kind of a bit lazy sometimes, but it's been some good ones in the past, I will say that. Seth Rollins stays on Raw. I wish he was, released from WWE. Charlotte, who's currently on leave, is staying on SmackDown. Good call because she just got there. Rollins, I don't care what he does. Round two. Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to Raw. Bro, just unify the titles to come up with new belts. Allegedly, according to one of our sources, is new titles coming. I will believe that when I see it, though. Even though I trust the person that put that out, WWE is very fickle. We know they change shit at the 11th hour. I'll believe that shit when I see it. SmackDown, the Usos are staying over there. Raw, Judgment Day is staying on Raw. Bro, they need some great writing. They need some Russo writing. Judgment Day is dumb. I honestly think they need to bring Dominic Mysterio. And I don't care about all the controversy going on with Vic Guerrero. Stop always catering to the internet. They're going to always have something to complain about. WWE, your priority is writing the most quality TV show as possible. People are going to complain either way. This whole stuff with Vic Guerrero's daughter needs to be proven first. It's completely coincidental. Dominic Mysterio needs to be with Vicky Guerrero to get true heat. It says on Raw Talk, Dana Brooke, Johnny Gargano, and Nikki Cross to Raw, and Tamina to SmackDown. Thank you. These are supplemental people. Thank you. Dana Brooke is staying on Raw. She's in a bit of a rut right now. She's been tweeting about that a little bit. I think Dana is probably going to have a job with WWE for a while, but I don't think she's going to return to the peak that she was with 24/7 champion and when she was with Mandy Rose tag team partners. I love Dana too. She's a sweet. Sabrina's a great girl. Sabrina. Her name's Ashley. She's cool. I actually know her a bit. She's a sweet girl. And she's being grossly misused. Great personality. She's almost like one of the boys. Like, she's more than just a cute girl. You know what I mean? Like, Dana's a hip. She's a cool chick. So, yeah, thank you, Victor. Victor, man, my big homie. He's always been my kind of my liaison. He's always doing good shit. Continue with the draft. Like I said, Dominic Mysterio needs to go over there. Take him out of the group. He doesn't fit. Thank you for Ripley for getting some heat on him and all that. Actually, holy shit, I just noticed that Ripley's on SmackDown. So, bro, and this is another thing that drives me crazy. If y'all idea was to eventually going to be to put Rhea Ripley on SmackDown, why did y'all bother making Judgment Day? The bad lack of thinking really drives me crazy with WWE. The lack of long-term booking really pisses me off with WWE. But yeah, I just noticed that she's not with them anymore. Just the guy, just make it Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Forget the Judgment Day thing. Just make them a tag team. Take Dominic Mysterio out of the group, especially with Ripley being gone. He's not going nowhere. Like, bro, just let him be by himself and put him with Andrade, who's very disgruntled with AEW right now. And we're going to talk about this AEW Black Eye and Britt Baker thing in a second. We're going to close the show because I got a lot to say about that. But Dominic needs to be with Andrade and Vicky Guerrero. Nothing else makes sense right now. On SmackDown, the new LWO, formerly known as Legado del Fantasma, I think Zelina Vega of anybody else, because under any other era, this is corny as hell, but I think Zelina Vega, who I love, Thea is great. I think her, more than anybody, can make this faction work because she can talk, she knows, she walk, talk, and act like a boss, and she has the charisma. Now, surprisingly, these other guys got a lot of charisma too, and I forgot Rey Mysterio was with the LWO. Santos Escobar, great leader. I think at some point him and Rey Mysterio, he needs to turn on Rey Mysterio and go heel again. They have a hell of a lot of money to make out of that program. Zelina is a great talk. Cruz Del Toro. Who are they missing? Where's Zema Ion? Oh, here he is. Okay, never mind. Here he is. Zema Ion's right there. Okay. So all these people are quite talented, surprisingly, in this group. I like all of them. So it's a lot you could do with them. Now, let me go to the standouts. I would say the LWO has the most potential just because they have a lot of talented people. This is really the only thing I'm sort of interested in going forward. And knowing WWE's writing, they're going to mess it up. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it to probably like the summer. If they have no interest, I'm not going to watch it no more. And when I mean watch it, I mean YouTube clips. I refuse to waste my time watching WWE on TV. I don't want to see Sonic and McDonald's commercials and all this stupid shit. No. Wrestling needs to be entertainment focused. This is the worst draft I've ever seen in my life. I don't care about anything Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens does anymore. The Usos are what they are right now until they get some new competitors, which they got. Oh, I forgot Pretty Deadly was called up too. I'm sorry, that wasn't the end of the round. Round 3, I'm sorry, I jumped the gun. Asuka's on SmackDown. It feels like Asuka been on both shows. She's the same person. Unless y'all gonna allow her to be this that character that she played in Japan. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the makeup, the undead Nazi thing. Asuka, at this point, if she wants to leave, I allow her to leave. Victor also says, Jinder Mahal and Indy share to Raw. Hell yeah. Hopefully they get a push. That'll be something I'll watch. Odyssey Jones to Raw. So WWE was listening to me. Indy Hartwell, Odyssey, even though I put Odyssey Jones on SmackDown because he's more of an athlete than he is an entertainer. But we'll see where that goes. Hell yeah, I'm okay with that. So I'm looking for all these new people. I don't care about nobody from NXT UK. None of these Triple H regime, pet project people. I have no interest in any of those goddamn people. Grayson Waller to SmackDown. Hell yeah. Even though Grayson Waller is more of a sports entertainer, I would have flipped that. I would have put Odyssey Jones, but I'm just happy they both on the main roster. I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure Omari, who I'm going to bring on there tomorrow, because this is going to be a really brief video. We're going to do long form tomorrow because I'm not going to be on here all night because I have to work in the morning. I have to wake up early, but I get off early tomorrow as well. So we'll have more time to talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, yep, according to Raw Talk. Hell yeah. Thank you, Victor, once again. Now, these are people that we've been talking about for weeks. Me, Victor, Omari, OSJ, JoJo, all these people we're talking about who WWE need to build their future around and get rid of all these NXT UK people. You can't make money with any of them. They're all a waste of money with the exception of a very small marginal, maybe 1 or 2 of them. You can't make money with any of them. Just cut the roster. They're a waste. Okay, so Asuka to SmackDown. I said what I said about Asuka. I don't care about the New Day. We already talked about them. They just turned Xavier Woods into Consequences Creed. Sheamus and his boring-ass faction stand on SmackDown. Round 4. WWE selects Hall of Famer Trish Stratus to Raw. I don't know who they were talking about last time when it said WWE Hall of Famer because the person that edited this roster didn't do it right. Cross to stand on SmackDown. Just keep the faith, brother. Hopefully they do something with you soon. LA Knight stays on SmackDown. Bro, why did LA Knight go to Raw? You cannot have LA Knight and Cross on the same roster. They need to be separate champions. Split them over, and then they can eventually wrestle at WrestleMania. WWE Raw selects Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. It's some things you could do with this. I don't know what the SmackDown Women's Division, but I think they can have a few with the chicks from NXT. the extremely high Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. They could do some stuff with them. I'm happy with all of them. Happy all of them are on the main roster. Hell yeah. These are people. Grayson Waller, Odyssey Jones, and a few others. Andy Hartwell. You can do stuff. That is your future, WWE. Focus on the NIL program. Stop focusing on these ROH wrestlers who have bad habits that you can't make money with. Why do you think Tommaso Ciampa was such a waste of money? He was extremely injury prone by the time he made it to WWE NXT, and definitely by the time he made it to the main roster. You cannot do nothing with this dude. The purpose of being a roster, if this was a baseball roster, an NFL roster, an NBA roster, an NHL hockey roster, soccer roster, any other roster other than pro wrestling, you will be hiring people based off their skills and if you can make money off them. No, with WWE can be based, even though it's a publicly traded company, it's basically a family-owned business. Vince just smart with getting people to give him money and still having his balls. That's what Vince is good at. WWE is a private company, which is why they can allow people like Triple H, who's completely unqualified to run a company, specifically WWE, to make these dumb decisions that he made. What has Triple H's accomplishments been in 2022, 2023? He rehired Bronson Reed. He rehired Johnny Gargano. He rehired, what's the other girl? The Scottish girl, whatever, Australian, whatever she is. She's cute, but you can't do anything with her. The one that was with Dakota Kai. I cannot think of her name right now. He rehired all these insignificant people and tried to push them despite them getting zero reaction at live shows and house shows. He's going to continue to push them. If WWE was ran by a common business practice, a la you make money or fold, they would have been out of business. Because if you think somebody like Triple H is going to make you money, you're out of your mind. And I'm pretty sure I articulate this several million times while I'm getting blue in the face talking about it, why this man has no business running that company. It is not about nothing personal. It is business. If you're saying Triple H should be running this company, you are not an intelligent person. And you don't understand anything about money. I don't know how many goddamn times I need to say this. Papa H is ruining WWE, and stop calling that man Papa H. You get those type of titles when you earn something, when you make money. Vince McMahon is the Papa. And everybody that dislike Vince McMahon, all you podcasters and all that, guess what? You will have nothing to talk about if Vince McMahon did not make wrestling national. If him and Stone Cold and The Rock didn't take wrestling global, you would have nothing to talk about. So get out of y'all feelings. AEW is not competition WWE, even though they're doing some stuff that's good that I'm going to talk about in just a second. They have things that I like. They're just not worth talking about all the time. I'll talk about when there's something worth talking about, like tonight. This has to be the worst roster I've ever seen in my life. Now, I'm going to let certain parts go into place. I'm going to get an NXT people they called up a chance. I'm going to give them a little more chance with Karrion Kross and LA Knight. I have no faith at all in anybody on the main roster that's going to, with star potential or promo skills, they're not going to be used right. They're going to be compromised for Triple H pet projects that don't give them a headache. Vince, what are you thinking about letting this man put people like Gunther on TV? People like Bronson Reed? All these other people, fucking the dude with the too many eyes in his name. What the hell are you thinking about putting these motherfuckers on TV? Allowing Triple H, I should say, put these people on TV. You need to focus on people like Logan Paul, Brock Lesnar, Goldberg need to have some more runs. Lashley, MVP needs to put the Hurt Business back together. Your NIL program, people you can actually make money with or they're marketable. These are the people you need to focus on. And if anybody think I'm crazy, I dare you to give me a rational response. And I'll respond to you, and I agree with you if you're rational. But all this crazy stuff, you just screaming, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to take you serious. You're going to get muted. So if you got something constructive to say, hit me up on Twitter. It's TJ Time 1991 or TJ the Prodigy on here. Hit me up. And let's have a rational conversation. Because everybody, I haven't had one logical response or rebuttal or why they think Triple H should be running WWE. Not one. Can't nobody tell me any logical without getting their emotions, getting their feelings, trying to quote tweet me. Bro, you quote tweet me, what y'all fail to realize, thank you for the free promotion. When you quote tweet me, even when you try to make me look dumb, you just sent people to my page. By the way, my analytics are up 2,000%, even though they tried to hold me back on YouTube. That shows you that the skills that I have, I forced myself into the algorithm. They weren't going to put somebody like me in the algorithm. I got in there from being good and consistent at what I do. And it took me 3-4 years, but I'm there. This is my first year. I gave myself 4 years. When I started in 2019, I said it might take me to about 2022, 2023. The pandemic slowed things down a bit, but we're finally up there. So anybody that's hating, bro, I'm going to keep putting out quality content. People going to keep watching. And we're going to start having more guest hosts on here because people are starting to walk to the light and they're starting to see what I'm talking about. People are starting to wake up to this bullshit that's going on in WWE, that's going on in pro wrestling in general. That is god awful, and Triple H ruined it, and all this stuff that they're over. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, people that they thought were revolutionary, they're ruining this business. People are starting to open their eyes up to it. I don't know how many ways I need to say it. And y'all can think WWE, oh, they don't know you, you're irrelevant. You can keep thinking they don't know me. Why do they keep putting stuff that they heard from my podcast on TV the same week after I said it? Ask yourself that. How many times do I need to say that? But getting back to this, like I said, I'm going to give them a chance. This is the worst roster I've ever seen in my life. Now, let's move on to the actual mainstream topic that I want to talk about. Let's talk about, and then I'll randomly finish off with some news at the end. Let's talk about this Britt Baker thing. I got to put this on the big screen. When I tell you the ring, and I haven't seen this directly, but I can about imagine how it is. The ring, Crimea River, Smarkfest that's going online with these IWC uninformed people, nerds, crater face, them going off on the fact that Sarya, Toni Storm, and Ruby Riot's faction blacking up Britt Bakers Eye is promoting domestic violence. This is why I say these people need to go out and get more sunlight. They're clearly vitamin C deficient. They haven't been around everyday people. See, the problem is when you have no social skills, when everything is online, when you live in your mom's basement where there's no sunlight, when all you eat is Taco Bell and all you do is consume porn and wrestling all day, you have no critical thinking skills. And that's what's wrong with these wrestling fans now. Real quick before I get deep into this, Victor said Raw gets Akira Tozawa, Emma, Los Lotharios, Piper Niven, Riddick Moss. Thank God they put Riddick Moss and Emma together. I like them as a duo. Tegan Sleeps and Xia Li. Xia Li, big up the lights. Hopefully Xia Li gets something going. I don't know. We'll see. But getting back to what we're talking about as it relates to this Saraya and her faction Black Eye stuff, this is what happens when you cater to psychotic people that don't have social skills. They run off everyday casual fans that don't, all they want to do is relax and have something to do after work. After a long, grueling day at work, they just want to relax, watch some entertainment, free thinking TV. They don't have to think a whole lot. You put it in front of them, you make it accessible. No, what social media has allowed, they mount these psychotic SJWs online to control the narrative, and this is what you get. This is why wrestling is so bad. It's going to take so much work for Endeavor and under WWE under the new Endeavor regime to fix all this mess, that all this crap that Triple H has flooded from the indies and from his nose into the mainstream TV. It is so bad that people are, when you hear people saying wrestling it still exists, and sarcastically, bro, SummerSlam is in Detroit. I've been contemplating going, but the way WWE is going now, I'm on the fence if I'm going to do that. I want to just for the experience and just because I've never been to a main roster pay-per-view. But with the way these people are main event right now, I don't know if I want to do this. AEW, you can't escape anywhere. If you're a casual fan that wants just an adult TV show to enjoy as far as it relates to pro wrestling, you can't go anywhere. AEW is awful. Impact is awful. WWE is awful. Even though they're supposed to be the leader in, well, we got the genetic grapefruit pile, like Vince said. They're supposed to be the leader in global entertainment. How, when you allow your son-in-law to follow independent companies that should be trying to keep up with y'all? I keep using this analogy. You think McDonald's care what a startup hot dog stand thinks? No, the hot dog stand is supposed to keep up with McDonald's. WWE, why are you watching your lower level competition that's light years behind you? But however, this thing with Saraya, Paige, and Toni Storm, who I like all three of those girls, this is the type of stuff that needs to be across the board in WWE TV. And I see what you said, Victor. I'm going to put that up on the screen in just a minute. But this is why WWE needs to stop caring what these people online who complain no matter what you say, nothing makes them happy. And this goes to politics, entertainment, TV shows. These people's goal, they're like locusts. They want to ruin everything. They have no logical reason other than we want to do it. Because they grew up with bad social skills. They've been locked in the house. They haven't had vitamin D. They've been eating Taco Bell, watching poor home and wrestling. They don't have social skills. Why are you letting these people? And I understand it's easy because these people are not intelligent. They'll go steal their mom's credit card or spend their unemployment check on an overpriced WWE shirt that was probably cheaply made. That probably not even a quality, authentic t-shirt or one of those overpriced belts or something like that. This is what happens when you overly cater to a niche audience. Now it's almost impossible to get casual fans back because casual fans do not want to be online being bombarded by these psychos because they got an opinion about a t-shirt that they disagree with. Casual people have so much stuff going on in their everyday life. They don't have time to deal with these psychotic people. I don't even deal with them. And I don't blame casual people because it's a lot more because I have pretty much a network right now. My YouTube is not just about wrestling. I am not crazy. I'm way done past only talking about wrestling. I can talk about anything. That's why I say I'm the first thing you see on my Twitter is TJ Time 1991 is I'm a pundit of everything. I know how to talk about anything. I'm a well-educated person, well-read person. I know how to talk about everything. I am not going to limit myself and drive myself crazy only talking about wrestling. It is something I've loved my whole life, but I'm starting to dislike it now. The more and more as the years go along. With this year, I'm pretty much after SummerSlam. I'm probably going to give up on it, but because it's not giving me a reason to care. But I'm always I'm reminded of a kid when I see stuff like Rey Mysterio getting big up by the Padres, the San Diego Padres, because he's a legit legend. People throw the word GOAT around so much, but Rey Mysterio is actually a GOAT. Those things make me believe. I want the rest of Rey Mysterio. I had a whole thing while I was going to retire Rey Mysterio and all that, but we already know why I'm out of the wrestling business. But it's so hard to generate any type of heat or interest because these psychos online will make you try to feel bad, which it don't bother me none. But I understand why everyday casual people don't want to deal with these crazy people. When you have an opinion that's different than theirs about something, they're ruining everything. Because these foolish people actually think that Britt Baker did not okay them putting that t-shirt out there. Who do you think idea it was? Just like the same t-shirt when she was bleeding. I like Britt Baker, by the way. I like all of them. I was critical of Britt Baker when she was just plain girl that was just so happened to be friends with the elite. Now that she's a heel, I think she was always meant to be. I've known Britt Baker for over 10 years. I've known of Britt Baker. I don't know her. I remember when she was on Chair Shot Reality in 2011. And she's a great marketer. I like Britt Baker. I know at a point she didn't think I did, but we don't have to always agree for me to appreciate what you're doing. She's damn talented. She knows how to be a heel, all that role model stuff when she had hurt her leg or whatever, and she was in a wheelchair. I think she was with Big Swole. No, she was feuding against Big Swole. She had the sexy Rebel, who's the most gorgeous 40-year-old I've ever seen in my life. Britt Baker's damn talented. She understands marketing, and she's somebody that I think, along with these other girls in this faction, Ruby Soho, Toni Storm, and Sarya, formerly known as Paige, I think all these girls have another run in the big leagues because they're not going to do a Trinity, and I love Trinity as a person, Naomi. But she made one of the most foolish business decisions I've ever seen in my life. We're going to Impact Wrestling. That crowd at Impact, it was probably 100 people in that I don't know what that dungeon or whatever the hell they film at, a goddamn Amazon backup warehouse or where, like, I don't know where they film their shows at anymore, but it looks horribly amateur. I know that. Trinity, you were just in front of 10 to 15,000 people. So you're so up your own ass and full of your own shit that you want to go hurt yourself and be how much you want to bet. And I don't usually wish this on anybody. Naomi is going to start having injury problems at Impact because what's going to happen is she's going to start working with unprofessional, unrefined people, and I guarantee you she's very athletic and quick. She's going to start doing diving spots out the ring, and next thing you know, she's going to be hurt. I'm almost willing to bet she's going to start having some injuries. I'm hoping she don't, but I know how these people think. Naomi, Trinity, why would you want to be seen by less people? You was Glow Girl. It's going to be hard to do that because more than likely WWE trademarked it. They're going to make it a pain in the ass for you to use it. You were better off sucking it up and staying with WWE. Now, you could have took a break. I understand she was probably burned out and she took a break. Why not come back to WWE? With your husband being there. You want to be away from your family up in Canada or wherever the hell Impact films at, and you already know they have problems paying big contract people. Why do you think Big Bill, formerly known as Big Cass, just left when he's W. Morrissey? He left because he got tired of that bullshit in Impact. Like not getting paid in a business that's high risk where you're going to get injured. They can't even pay people. Why would you want to go over there? This is what people don't think about. This is that mark mentality and behavior that I'm fucking talking about. And now I'm cussing because it's pissing me off. But Trinity, Saraya and Toni Storm and Ruby Soho and Britt Baker, please do not do what Trinity did. She obviously allowed herself, and people that are very reputable people like my tweet when I put this out. Why in the hell would you want to be seen by less people? Why would you want to work some injury grueling schedule and be seen by less people? That is the most nonsensical business logic I've ever heard in my life. These wrestlers don't get it. And the promoters aren't going to say nothing because they get making money. Triple H is just rubbing his hands in the background. Yeah, I'm going to get another one. Because he know he can get another Ricochet. And I'm just using Ricochet as a basic. Ricochet is actually a professional, but it's a bunch of Ricochets out there. You ever heard of a guy named Will Ospreay? That's a white Ricochet. That's all he is. They know if you get injured, they got another Seth Rollins, another Dean Ambrose, another Adam Cole on the shelf in the back. It's not that hard. And they're playing these mark wrestlers who just want to be on TV, just like these people that be on reality TV shows. They know they don't got, excuse me, they know they don't have to pay y'all. They know they don't have to give you union right. And they know that you're such a mark to be on TV that they're not going to properly pay you. I guarantee you, Naomi is going to regret this decision in about 5 years. She's going, I wish I would have stayed over there. As she get closer to probably want to have a baby, she's going to regret it. You're going to waste your best years of your life, because she's in her prime right now. She's going to waste her prime years in Impact. In dud pack wrestling. That's where you want to go. This I don't understand how these wrestlers think, bro. I don't get it why they're such marks. I'll never understand it. But this is a good angle. Y'all are marks if y'all think that Britt Baker did not approve this black eye in promoting domestic violence. First of all, and I think it was even a neckbeard that agreed with this. It was a mark that was like, bro, y'all sound real irrational. First of all, what y'all have to understand is no rational person will wear that T-shirt outside. It is strictly a T-shirt designed to get heat. I doubt that AEW even sells that shirt for very long. It might be a seasonal shirt, something that fans could say they got. I'm completely behind something being made as a prop. It's almost like when Moxley had the Mitch the potted plant. I'm sure that was an inside joke, and it was only designed for that moment, that storyline. That's what they have to overreact to everything. They're such childish kids. Mr. Big Sniff said, I'm happy for Waller. That is hilarious. I'm a big Waller fan too, but Mr. Big Sniff is a hilarious name. These wrestling fans are marks, but I'm going to slow down for just a second and to put up some of these comments. Victor said, according to Wikipedia, free agents are Corbin, Brock Lesnar, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, Dolph Ziggler, Elias, Mustafa Ali, Mujabar Ali, almost with MVP Von Wagner and Zion Quinn. Now, this is a mixed bag of people. Corbin and Benjamin and Alexander needs to be back with the Hurt Business. It's not that Elias needs to be main eventing whatever the hell he's doing because he's Elias. That is the second coming of Macho Man Randy Savage. If y'all want to use him as a Jeff Jarrett type character, he just needs to be on TV. Just like I said, Aaliyah. How do you justify a woman that beautiful as Aaliyah not being on television? That has to be the most nonsensical thing I've ever seen in my life. And what we have to get away from, every female wrestler is not meant to be a wrestler. Some of them need to be valets and managers because they have two left feet in the ring and you can't do a whole lot with them. How about you? Everybody don't need to be a wrestler. Just like some males are meant to be commentators or managers. Adam Cole should have been a manager. Bro, you like a little kid with a big head. You don't lift weights. The TSA people couldn't take you serious at the airport. You're not supposed to be a wrestler, bro. The second thing that Victor said, Zion Quinn, you can't do anything with him, really. He's just another guy. Dolph Ziggler, bro, just keep collecting your paycheck. Just be a coach in NXT. You can't do shit with him. Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar. Victor also said, I wonder if Ricochet's wife, Samantha Irvin, goes to Raw since he's on Raw. Probably not because she's an announcer. I saw Elias. I saw that Elias was in the storyline with Rick Boogs. That actually might be quite entertaining because those two guys know what to do. This will be a perfect 24/7 type storyline. But WWE were dumb enough to get rid of that belt, even though it was their highest rated belt during the pandemic in the last couple years. Your highest rated segment, just like Impact, never did the thing with Jay Lethal again when he's imitating Macho Man and Ric Flair. Why do y'all not want to make money? This has to be, y'all supposed, stop calling yourselves the pro wrestling business with the operative word being business when y'all don't want to make money. That has to be the most ludicrous, ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life. Stop calling yourself, but you're not a business. You're a Mark Carney-ass wrestling show. And for people that take wrestling too serious, keep in mind, wrestling, we're one generation removed from the carnival. Wrestling used to be a sideshow in the carnival, people. Stop taking yourself serious, bro. Wrestling is meant to be a drama soap opera, nothing else. Victor says, yeah, saw them training together on YouTube clip. That's actually cool, man. I actually like that. Getting back to this Britt Baker situation, bro, y'all are marks if y'all don't think she approved this. Y'all know damn well Britt Baker approved all of this stuff. And if you stop catering to these snowflakes, every storyline is not meant for them. TV shows are supposed to be a variety. And this is something that TV shows in general are suffering from. They have identity crisis. I am currently watching Ballad, and I gave it a chance because season 1 had my reservations that it wasn't going to be good because most things aren't better than the original. It's usually just SJW field narrative propaganda nonsense. I was watching Bel-Air, and when I swear to God, I haven't watched the season finale yet, and it's been rough since episode 3, even keeping up with season 2 because it's just too much bullcrap. When I tell you this show has no idea what it wants to be, this show has no idea what it wants to be, and this is a microcosm of general entertainment where these shows that have a clear theme don't know what it wants to be. Like, for example, I am so pissed at what Paramount did with Halo. That was not Halo. That was woke low. Hey, woke. I don't want to see that shit. Master Chief taking his fucking helmet off. Come on, man. These people that aren't even from the universe in the first season, before you explain the backstory of the super Spartan soldiers, which is what, man, I'm not going to get into all that. Anyway, the point is, writers that are being hired are not qualified for these jobs, be it wrestling, Marvel, this, whatever. Movies. That's why culture is so bad now, and everybody's so afraid to be artistic because they're afraid of these psychotic people online. How about you mute or block them? That's what I do. I don't deal with these people. When I know I'm smarter than you, I will not go back and forth with you in a debate. It's a saying that says, when a stupid person argues with a smart person, it's hard to tell who the stupid person is. This is something that people with balls need to adhere to a lot more often. Well, if you're a content creator, you might have to take a sacrifice and write your own stuff and create a podcast and get your stuff out there. It might take a while, but at least you'll have freedom. Stop working for these networks that are going to compromise your artwork. This is not a hard thing to comprehend. So, to get back to wrestling, a large part of wrestling is they don't have an identity and they don't have any inclination or identity to a mainstream culture. They just want to be niche. And I understand, like I said, these nerds are easy to cater to because they will spend their last dime on a million Seth Rollins shirts that look like they was made in 10 minutes. Yeah, because people totally want a Seth freaking Rollins shirt that's clearly ripped off the Batman logo. Like, I get why WWE try to cater to this audience, but it's not sustainable if you're trying to justify why you're overpaying. They're overvalued. And dude knows Vince is legit. Emmanuel from Endeavor, and he was even saying in the press conference, I think it was with CNN or C-SPAN, when they were talking about the deal that they were working on, that people thought they overspent their overvalued this deal. Yes, WWE is not worth $9.8 billion. They're only worth maybe $1 billion. And what I would do with WWE is I will give them $1 billion a year and give them an incentive to perform contract. In other words, every year, if you improve the ratings to whatever we agree to, I'm going to give you an addition of $1 billion. You don't give nobody that much money. You know why? Because they're going to stop performing at an optimal level because you gave them the money. That's like you giving a kid a rich car, a expensive car. You think they're going to appreciate and value that car? They have no basis of value because you didn't teach it to them. You don't give no company that's been failing like WWE, as far from a creative and rating standpoint, that much money. They're just going to mail it in every week like Triple H. Triple H is rubbing his head. Yeah, I got it. He's rubbing his hands together because he don't have to do nothing. That's why Gunther is the Intercontinental Champion. This guy that nobody ever heard of is the goddamn Intercontinental Champion. That's why goddamn Elias, people with main star appeal, LA Knight, Karrion Kross, that Bobby Lashley. That's why Shelton Benjamin is on goddamn main event. Because you got idiotic people like Triple H writing these shows because they're going to get paid whether they perform or not. That's the central nucleus problem with WWE. And on the AEW side, you got this Mark, this $11 billion baby named Tony Khan, who gets whatever he wants from his daddy that has his vanity project called AEW. You think he's going to try to improve his show? He made it clear that he has no idea or no goal at all to get casuals to watch his show. He's pretty frank about that in every interview, whoever asks him that question, because usually they don't ask him. But when they do, he's pretty damn clear about that. That's why I don't bother watching it unless something like this happens. Sarya, Tony Storm, everybody that I'm talking about in this video, please be smart. Get that money from Tony Khan and go back to WWE. Stop. And I understand it's free money. You got all type of crazy accommodations. I heard they spent like $160,000 on catering in like a month or something, which is absurd. Like, I would love to work at WWE. The AEW is basically a vacation. You get an overvalued vacation. That's essentially what it is. But from a creative content standpoint, everybody is suffering right now because it's an identity crisis in entertainment. But as it relates to pro wrestling, you got marks with money that keep getting money and they know they're not going to improve. That's like if a woman if a guy can cheat on a woman and she'll always go back to him, you don't think he's going to stop cheating on her? Use some common sense. Or if a kid know they can sneak out the house, their parents not going to do nothing, you don't think they're going to stop sneaking out the house? This is what's wrong with wrestling right now. This is why everything is off. It don't help that social media it's in all these enablers, these corporate enablers online that's okaying this psychotic behavior because they want brain dead robots buying their merchandise. They want you to eat fast food, not think, and swallow whatever propaganda they give you. That's why they empower these psychotic people who's vitamin D deficient, who need to get goddamn sunlight. Because I'm a pretty productive and healthy person. That's how I know what psychotic people look like. Because I'm a normal person. That's why. These people, you can tell, have never had normal conversations with people. Well, for you to flip out online over somebody else's opinion, that's how you know your mommy babied you your whole life. You never had any consequences for being a brat, for falling out in the store. Because if you're my kid or my family, and this is something I can speak from a black perspective, you got your ass whipped when you acted up in the store. That's why we are not psychotic like that. At least not in the sense of a lot. Well, some of these people are now because they didn't grow up with actual parents. But if y'all don't think Britt Baker was in on this idea, bro, y'all get outside and get fresh air. I'll just keep it at that. These goddamn people are ruining creativity because wrestlers can't do anything. And I get it. They don't want these psychotic people. They don't want to have to mute 700,000 psychos online that's getting upset over a t-shirt. They're promoting violence against women. If Britt Baker didn't come out and say that, first of all, Adam Cole does not beat his wife. You don't think she would have said something about that? Adam Cole, Britt Baker, from what I hear, they have an open relationship. And I'm going to try to be respectful about this. They have an open relationship. Britt Baker seems like the type of chick that would have said something, the woman that would have said something about this. Get out of y'all ass, dude. Everything's not about y'all, you big babies, and WWE and AEW and content creators. Have some damn balls to say, stop whining. We're going to do what we want to do. Take her to leave it. Because you know damn well WWE is going to have some type of work rate match because the wrestlers, the Cesaros and Daniel Bryants and all those people, the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, those people are always going to be there. What's stopping y'all from producing an adult-oriented mainstream product that's for everybody? Nothing other than the fact that you're lazy assholes that are afraid to be controversial. And that's why people are dropping off in droves and going to MMA, bare-knuckle fighting, Trilla, football, anything other than wrestling. The people would rather go outside and fly kites than watch this bullshit. I see people reading books now over watching WWE. Or if it's on YouTube, they'll swipe through it on YouTube like, whatever, I'm done with this shit, and forget about it. And speaking of forgetting about it, all these nerds that rage out online that get upset about shit, they're going to forget about it next week. They got caterpillar brains. They're going to be watching whatever other fast food stuff they're being manufactured by the big six corporations, whatever they're being told to think, they're going to think that because they don't have a mind of their own. Because if they had a mind of their own and actual critical thinking skills, they would know damn well this storyline was talking about amongst these four women. Stop listening to these crazy psychotic people and stop compromising your art and stop running off casual potential viewers, letting these stinky ass people who clog up toilets and inconvenience you in the grocery store being a whining baby who can't wait to get their way. Stop catering to these people. This is what's wrong with culture now. I just ignore them or laugh at them and not take you seriously. I'll laugh in your face if you throw a fit in the store because you need to be an adult and not a petulant child. Stop catering to these people. This is why you're losing money. If anybody think WWE is making money outside of these guaranteed network deals, you are sadly mistaken because their ratings and their house show tickets and the gates are down across the board. Why do you think they have to make up numbers at WrestleMania? Why do you think they have to make up numbers that they sold out shows at pay-per-views? You know damn well they might have sold out probably a quarter of that building, maybe half if it was a good show. That WrestleMania was probably half full. They comped the rest of those tickets and let people come in for extreme discounts. And probably they've been encouraging people. It's been notes going around that Shawn Michaels and Triple H has a friends and family night at NXT to pad up the numbers. You're not talking to a damn fool. I don't know who y'all think y'all be talking to. It's a reason that people secretly act like they don't know me and they do. And I'm not going to put it out there, but they DM me. People follow me on Twitter that try to hide. They don't publicly tell you they know me because I'm allegedly controversial. Just know I do my damn research. I've been around this business a long time. I know what comp tickets and all that look like. I look at the actual numbers. WWE are not selling out these shows like y'all think they are. I mean, it's because they refuse. AEW's not even close, even with all this CM Punk stuff, that they refuse to turn it to storylines. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Y'all got ready-made content, drama, that y'all could put on TV that's ready-made. In WWE, all this Game of Thrones, tug-of-war shit going on with the McMahons, Vince being outed by Linda, Triple H, and Stephanie, all this stuff with CM Punk being a headache backstage, all this stuff with people sleeping around with people. Why is this stuff not turned into storyline? That's what wrestling's supposed to be. It's supposed to be campy soap opera drama. Wrestling's not supposed to be ridiculous-looking little kids in underwear like Johnny Gargano fake fighting each other for an hour. I swear to God, I want to throw stuff at the TV. Not my TV. I should say I want to go to the live show and throw something at their head for these damn matches going on so long. This is goddamn ridiculous. This is why somebody like me who's uber passionate about wrestling don't even bother in my community. We don't even want to talk about this shit anymore. Unless something like this happening, I don't even talk about wrestling unless it's about old school memories that I remember when shit was great. Like I was just talking about the filthy animals and shit. Or whatever I talk about. Matt Hardy, whatever, the good shit. Attitude of Ruthless Aggression in the 80s when wrestling was good. Even the fucking 70s with Dusty Rhodes, fucking Ric Flair, Superstar Billy Graham, all of the like the good wrestling. Modern wrestling is the runny dog, diarrhea dog shit. And the people that created it killed their own self. They killed their own Frankenstein by folding to these psychotic SJWs that don't know how to control themselves, that are going to complain no matter what you give them. You ruined your own product. If y'all were smart, y'all would take, like y'all steal my shit and don't give me credit for it anyway. If y'all were smart, y'all would take this stuff I was giving y'all right now and actually better y'all damn show. But I'm out. Thank y'all for being Victor. Mr. Big Sniff, make sure you, that's a funny ass thing. Make sure you sub to the channel, TJ the Prodigy on YouTube. Thank y'all for the other people that's growing the channel. Haters gonna hate. We're gonna keep representing and showing y'all. And I'll tell y'all like always, like Conan said at Rey Mysterio's Hall of Fame ceremony, hate all you want, but it's the reason people call me a scarecrow, because I'm outstanding in my field. Thank you, Marissa, as always. Thank everybody who go keep entertaining y'all, putting out the quality content. Go follow the Twitch as well. It's CJ Time. What's my damn Twitch? King Prodigy Game. No, Prodigy Games #2. All that stuff is on my goddamn Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, my YouTube, my Twitter, everything's on there. Twitch, all that shit is on my Twitter. It's CJ Time 1991. That's all lowercase letters. ITS TJ Time 1991. Kiss my ass. And I'm rich, bitch. I'm just playing. I love y'all. God bless y'all families. I'll talk to y'all soon. WWE, stop being stupid. And AEW. Produce good content, make stars.